What a difference a day makes. Jerome Powell lowered interest rates 50 basis points on Wednesday, and the market liked it. How do I know? Well, the Nasdaq was up 2.5%, 440 points, closed at 18,013, which is just a tick, a couple points below that old 18,017, which we saw recently. So, it depends what, time frames matter, and it depends what your time frame is. That was August 22nd, after we had this nice sharp rally from August 5 to August 22. So if you're real short term, like swing traders here, you have to say, this rally through the moving averages, the 10 and the 21 driving through the 50, the index now well above its 10 and it's 21. You'd have to say, short term, that's an uptrend, right? Medium term, though, it's still consolidating in these, this little base here, right? It had this big run and now it's consolidating in a base. But, that's like midterm. Short term, boom, it's ripping higher, right? Looks like it wants to take out that old high, but longer term, if we're going longer term, from October 22, I mean, we're definitely in a uptrend. So it just depends on your time frames and how long you plan on holding stocks and what stocks you own. Some momentum stocks are not meant to be held a long time, while others are, you can put them in your portfolio and just hang on to them for a while. So you have to know what type of trader you are, and you have to know your size positions. And that's why I put the market conditions in every morning, because as a swing trader, you want to know if it's that you have the tailwinds from the market at your back, or if there's headwinds. And right now, I'd say we definitely have some nice tailwinds here. So yeah, the market responded nicely to Jerome Powell's. Well, I shouldn't say Jerome Powell. There was 19 Fed members that voted, and they all thought that the market, excuse me, that the interest rate should be cut probably about 3 times, or 75 to 100 basis points. So they did the big one first, probably got a couple of small ones, but this looks pretty good here to me. And I'm looking for the Nasdaq to take out this 1817 here. We'll just have to wait and see. After a big move like today, might be some profit taking here, but I'm talking in the next few weeks. We'll see. This is typically a pretty weak month, but it's been strong. And the Fed has interjected itself into the market. So yeah, just take it one day at a time. And the Nasdaq had a good day today, up 2.5%. Like I said, the Dow Jones Industrial Average traded at an all-time high. You can see this right here, 42,160, and an all-time closing high of 42,025. So that's the stronger index, definitely in a power trend here and looking fantastic. The S&P 500 index, a little stronger than the Nasdaq. How do I know? Well, it's trading at all-time highs, and the Nasdaq is not. Nasdaq's quite a bit below its all-time highs, but today you see it rip through, and now it's 2.6% above its 10, 3.1% above its 21, and now 3.2% above its 50. Remember when it was trading here, I was saying, it always catches up to the 50, and now it's 3-something% above it. Yeah, so that's just trading, right, in the market. So anyway, the IWM, I got to mention that they had the IWM small caps looking pretty good, rallied through this moving averages here, and it's 4.3% above this rising 50. So the small caps look pretty darn good. It was up over 2% today too. So anyway, I'm going to move on because there's a lot of stocks I have to get to. I'm not going to cover everything that I want to cover. The utilities and some of the consumer discretionaries were weak, like the shoes stocks. I think it was Skechers. I don't want to start off negative, but I'm going to. Yeah, Skechers was down like 9%. Crocs had kind of a rough day. And the leader, it just pulled back to its 50. And the leader in the group On Holdings, which has been really strong, pulled back today. So maybe it wants to come back to its 10 and find support there. We'll have to wait and see. But with the market ripping, you don't want your stock to be down 2.5%, but that's the way it goes. It's been on a nice run. But anyway, I don't want to get into the negative stuff. I want to go straight to the Mag 7 because I mentioned yesterday the Apple was at an inflection point. It had rallied up to its 50 and it was going to do one of two things. I thought it was either going to get rejected and sell off or do what it did today. And so after one day, more has been revealed. And we know this thing has powered through its 50 simple moving average. So that's a nice looking move for Apple. Man, $8 move, 3.71%. That's fantastic. And this is 232.92 is definitely a area of interest. Apple, you got to kind of look at the weekly charts here, and you can see it's just consolidating here. It had a base on base pattern, then it ripped up, and now it's just consolidating in this base. And over time, Apple's going to take that old high out of what was it, 237? Yeah, just got to give it some time. So Apple looks good. Another one of these Magnificent Seven, if you will, stocks that look pretty good is Tesla. This one's looking much better. 228.22 would be an area of interest. Well, close at 243 today, 244 after hours. So Tesla looks really strong, but still consolidating. Like longer term. It just depends on your time frames here. The RS is 69. So there's a lot of stocks that are stronger, but still consolidating within the base. But a nice move today. Got to acknowledge the move today. Microsoft, they announced the $60 billion stock buyback program earlier in the week, and it's just consolidating in the base. You could see that pattern Rex picking that up, the cup shape pattern up 1.83% today. Meta's looking really good. Out of all these mega cap tech stocks, Meta's looking the best, and this broke out from that 542 area here today. Wow, closed at 559. So nice day for Meta. Yeah. I don't own Meta, but if you do, congratulations. That looks really fantastic. I have not looked at Amazon, or Google. Google's got issues. Okay, so we're gonna go to the semiconductor names, starting with NVIDIA. The SMH was up early, and Qualcomm, Applied Materials, AMD, Broadcom, those stocks were all, just running today. This doesn't look like much on this little pullback here. This little, I would call this like a wedge pattern where it comes down, nice wedge down to 100. Now it's starting to, it rallied up and forming this little shelf type pattern. So, I like it above 120. I think that's going to be a resistance there. It's not a stock that I'm interested in at this point. There's just other merchandise that's better. AMD had a nice 5%, 5.7% move today, trying to get above the 200. That will act as resistance. I don't know how strong of a resistance that will be, but that will be some sort of resistance there. It's still 2% below that 200, that black line there, that long-term trending black line. So that's got some work to do. Broadcom, this looks like one of the better semiconductor names, just consolidating in the base once again. It's all it's doing. It's not breaking out. It's not making new highs. This is the old high here of 185, but I do like it. If it could get above that 172.42 area, and you can see it's just consolidating in this little trade range. That would be an area of interest if it could show strength. But it has rallied, down from its 200, rallied through its 50, formed a little shelf for a couple sessions, and had a nice move today, almost 4% for Broadcom. Applied Materials, another one of these, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but it needs to rally back through its 200 as well. PI, this is one that we've been looking at here. It's this is really strong, making new highs. Okay, look at all the big blue volume bars here. So somebody's buying that stock. It's not ant selling, and it was up another 4% today. Gapped higher. What does this look like on like a 10-minute chart or a 15? Yeah, this thing's got just gap higher, gap higher, gap higher. Yeah, somebody's buying that stock. Okay, anyway, I'm going to move on. What is it? VRT? Yeah, this one looks good too. This is a kind of a data center power equipment play. Broke above its downtrend line here last week and continues to show strength. So I like that. Wow, I was at 5% today. So fantastic. I've had that one on the ready list for a couple of weeks. I think I took it off this week, but I added VST this week. I think I kept this one on. This one looks strong as well. Very similar to VRT, VST. This is one of those power plays, right? Nuclear. So it broke above its downtrend line and trending higher, but still within this base here from 107 to what was it, 80? What was it, 86? What the heck was it? No, 66. It dries check jargon. Okay. Anyway, yeah, rallied through its moving averages and showing a lot of strength there, just as it it's got a couple of buy points in my opinion here, that 87, 89, call it $88, and then again here at 96, which it's coming up on 96. So I think it touched 96 today. It probably needs a 95 and a quarter. So definitely a strong stock. Anyway, I've got to move on. I'm going to the construction names. The concrete construction looks really strong. This is KNF Knife River. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out this is a strong stock. Had this little wedge pattern, I guess you could call it, cup with handle or whatever, pull back to its 50, found support here and just ripped every darn day. And look at this, above average volume every day now. So once again, that's not Aunt Sally buying that stock. That looks super strong. USLM, another concrete stock, man. These things are showing strength. These are flexing. And it's getting a little extended, especially for this. This is like insurance, seeing these things move like this. It's very it's not normal. How about that? But this thing is what, 11.7% above its 10, 16% above the 21. So I forbid you to chase that. Let it come back into you. Very thinly traded name. Some of the other ones that I like that I completely whiffed on. I should have had this one on the ready list. At that 137 today, broke above it, just super strong stock, fantastic move. For Sterling, you can see it undercut its 50 here, then rallied back through and has just not stopped. And you can see today the big volume bars. Like I said, that ain't Aunt Sally buying that one. PWR, Quanta Services. This thing looks fantastic to me. Once again, that same, shake everybody out, get everybody, oh, I don't like this stock, it's going down. Then what? Rip it right through the 50, right at that old standard buy point there of what? 280. Well, jargon, you're a freaking idiot. Sometimes you put a line right through the buy point. 286.87. Call it 287. Just a tick above it. It closed a tick above it, but you can see the action here. The sell off, shake everybody out, shake and bake, then just rip higher right through all the moving averages. That's classic textbook stuff there from Quanta Services. I really like that move. I like this company for a long time. They show solid, steady growth. Nothing fantastic, just a steady Eddie, and if you look at it over, time, years, 4 or 5 years here, just it's been a hell of a mover. Quanta Services, fantastic. Congratulations. Granite showed this one yesterday as well, just moving higher out of that ascending base pattern. Granite looks fantastic. And then Road. The building heavy construction stock, and this one's just, look at the volume here. This is not Aunt Sally. Same profile though, where it shakes everybody out of the pool, and then whoop, we're gonna rip higher. Okie doke. Now that everybody's out of the boat, we're gonna hit the gas. Okay, so let me see what else we have. Oh, since Jerome Powell spoke yesterday, I would thought it was appropriate to show Powell. And same profile, sell off below the 50, rip right through. I don't know how many days in a row this has been up. Last 2 days have been really strong volume. Did I buy it? No. I like Quanta, but this one definitely has the profile. And yeah, I like the stock too, but I didn't buy it. No, got to be honest, for full disclosure. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the drug stocks. I have 4 on my ready list this week, but they're getting a little extended. This is ADMA. Once again, I sincerely, I hope that you go to their website and look at their Cantor Fitzgerald conference, because the CEO gives a lot of information and talks about guidance and going forward. And this stock it's going higher. I don't know, how long it's going to, well, it's been going higher, but it's going higher from where it is today. What is it, 1974? Yeah, this could just be like a little way station here for future gains. But they don't report earnings for a while till November, and I think the next couple quarters are pretty much a cinch for these guys. But anyway, it is extended. I don't like buying anything. Like I mentioned earlier, it's 12.3% above the 21. It's more, almost 8% above the 10. So let those things catch up a little bit. It makes me nervous to buy, when stocks get that far ahead of their moving averages, because I know they're going to come back at some point. I just don't know when. All right, enough of that nonsense. EXAS, Exact Sciences. They had good news, I think Monday, or it might have been Friday of last week. Anyway, still, consolidating in this space, now breaking out. And this one's starting to get a little extended too, is up 2.3% today. It's not that bad. Well, yeah, it's 7% above the 10. So, so and plus they've been up a lot recently. Like TGTX, somebody's asking, how come this thing's not moving? Well, it is moving. It's up 6.5% this week. I'll take that every week on, real strong volume. But you can see on the weekly, this is just consolidating, starting to push away from the base. And that's what I think this one's going to do. Just gradually grind higher. And if I own a stock, I don't want it, just ripping so fast that, because I know there's going to be profit take, and then it pulls back 7.5% above the 21. Not too bad, but let these moving averages catch up. Don't get too, anxious, or, don't get too greedy, or don't get too, just relax, man. Let these things work for you. Give them some time. They're not going to go up every day. Like I said, it's up a lot this week. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. RNA is another one. I just like the consolidation pattern here. It's consolidating within a base. It's made this big move here. It's below the moving averages now. It traded through its 50. It's 4% above the 50. So, let it consolidate around that 48 level. What did it made it over 46 today, right? 46.08. So yeah, no, that thing looks fine. And the last one was TGTX RNA. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to stick with those because I need to move on. There's a lot of stocks doing well, and software names, app. I think when you own stocks in a group like the drug stocks, ADMA is a clear leader in that group. If you want to own a software name, App 11 is clearly a leader in this group. I know it's ran a lot, but you got to find a way, to own leaders. And like I mentioned, the shoe leader is ONON, and maybe it'll give you a chance to get it. If you missed it, maybe it'll pull back, and that's what you got to wait for. Don't just go chasing stuff like this. What did it? It was up to 128 today, so it pulled back, $4. Let it come in. Maybe it'll pull back in the next couple of sessions or next week, and you can get a better entry point. But if you want to own leaders, you gotta be patient. You can't just chase them way up here, because they will pull back for you. QTWO, this is one that I put on my ready list last night, and it popped nearly 5% today. We'll take that. Thank you very much. You can see the consolidation pattern here, pretty simple. 75.94, 75.81. So it's consolidating in this base. And if you're like a one of those Darvish traders, you could say, well, it broke out of this box today. So that would attract momentum buyers. You can see with volume here. So I would expect this one to trade higher. If you didn't buy it today, I still think this is, well, I just got through saying don't chase stocks. Yeah, 6% above the 10. It's still just on the borderline. So maybe it'll open lower tomorrow, or next week you can get it at a lower price. But that thing looks still pretty good to me. INTA, this one's getting extended as well. Broke out on Monday, I believe, and just trading higher today, up 2.7%. That one looks good. CrowdStrike, another one of these software names, traded down to 200 from 398, call it 400. So it got a 50% haircut. Now it's trying to rally back through, but you could see these moving averages, just diving. So CrowdStrike, I'd still be careful with that below the 200. It still needs time, in my opinion. One that does not need time is Duolingo. Making new highs today. This one double bottom base. You can see here, pattern rec picks this one up pretty clearly. So your buy point there is around 215 area. And it cleared that last week and now ripping higher this week. Spotify was playing opossum for a long time, and today finally, like Lazarus up from the dead, he's awake, he's alive. That 331, it traded around there for a long time. Right around it, little teeter-totter, up and back and up and back, and finally today, thank you. It's like an oasis in the desert. Spotify trades at new highs. Okay, 368. So well above that old high there, closed at 360. The daily range was 58% of its daily range. So yeah, you want to see it closing in the upper quartile, but man, I got to take it with Spotify. So anyway, fantastic stock. And just, they play a possum like this sometimes, and you got to wait and be patient. So it's not for everyone, because a lot of people don't have patience. They don't want to wait on stuff like that. And the last one I'm going to show you in the software names, there's a lot of them doing well. ZETA made a new high today. This one's surfing its moving averages, looks fantastic. And I lied because I want to show you Monday too. Because Monday broke above, the old 272.77 and closed above it today. So that looks pretty good as well. You can see this little consolidation as it pulled back to its 50. Yeah, I kind of like Monday there. So any other ones that I'm going to lie about? CRM, Benioff's company's got to get above the 200. Oracle's been super strong. Yeah, it's waiting for the moving averages to catch up. So if you chased it up there, on that day where a couple of days there, I think it was above 170. So in 73, you don't have to chase it up there. 173.99, let it come in. And now today was at 164, yesterday at 163. So, let those moving averages catch up. But Oracle, definitely a strong stock. Anyway, I do have to get out of the software names. I like retail, some retail. And some retail is going to benefit from lower interest rates, right? Shark Ninja. I said the other day that it made me nervous that, I'm going to trim some, maybe sell a quarter here, take some profits, because you don't have profits until you sell something. This thing could go up to 200 bucks. I don't know, but it's not in your account until you sell it, and they can always pull back at any time. So that's why I say when stocks make new highs, and sell spikes, and then you can always buy them back. But I don't know, some people just like to hold them. This looks like it's going to trend for a while, to be honest with you. But I just mentioned that on that pullback, I would have just, trimmed a little bit. And of course, I was wrong. But like I said, often wrong, never in doubt. Carvana, another one that's going to benefit from lower interest rates. Yeah, nice move. This is the same profile that we see in a lot of stocks here. Sell off, undercut the 50, get everybody nervous, get everybody hating the stock market, and then rip hard. And that's what just retail folks just drives them crazy, because like, hey, I had that stock, and I sold it. I sold it here down when it pulled back, and now look at it. It's at 170. I sold it when it sliced the 50. What you should do, 130, 133, and then it rallied back above. So you can always buy them back. They take out your stop losses. If you like a stock and you're in a stock, you might be early, and then it pulls back, takes out your stop loss, slices the 50. You can buy it back when it rallies back through. So just don't give up on them, because we never give up at MC Stock Charts. Just keep your eyeballs on them. DoorDash, this one looks good to me. I'm talking to a couple trader friends of mine. This is classic stuff here. Breakout from a cup with handle pattern. So we've seen historically a lot of model book stocks, they make a move like this, breaking out of a base, and that's could be the start of a bigger move. So it's definitely something that I'm watching for. Did I buy DoorDash today? No, I didn't. But because I'm a dummy. But the people who did, I think this has the makings of a big move. I'm not saying that it's going to, and it's going to go to 500 or 200 or 300, but I like the way the looks. I like the looks of that chart there. Okay. Oh, DRI reported earnings today. I thought the earnings were just okay, but man, that is a classic breakout. 8% move with volume. Thank you very much. So that was one restaurant name that looked good. Wingstop. It is still consolidating within a base. I like it above 400. It was up 2% today. 409, obviously, giddy up. 409 is a buy point there, but that thing looks strong as well. You can see it's just consolidating below the 431, though. This would be, still considered consolidating within a base. But like I said, I like it above 400. All right. Any more retail names? Of course. I could do retail for a while. Boot making new highs. I like that one. SE, I like any stock that makes a new high. Who am I kidding? 83.69. So it made a new high above that area. So Boot Barn looks good as well. All right, I'm going to spare you any more retail names. I'm going to go to the air conditioner because I had this one on a ready list last week and it shook me out. I mean, it traded below the 50, right? I said, shoot, this thing was really diving on no news down to 300. You got to get rid of it. Then as it drives back through here last week, if you like the stock and you want to own it, you were just a little early and it sold off and it traded back through its 50 simple moving average around 318.49. You can see that there. So if you bought it at 320, let's say, I think you're a happy camper. And now it broke above that old buy point of the old 352. There's a bunch of them in there, 341. But anyway, yeah, that's the old shake and bake, man. That drives retail crazy because you sell and you don't buy back. And you sit there and said, wow, I own that stock. Did I blow it? Yeah, you did, because you didn't buy it back. So that's why we got to be vigilant here. Same profile here, not as extreme, but it pulled back to its 50. This is Train, made a new high today. That one looks fantastic. And then MOD, this one will make you seasick. This one sold off from 121 not that long ago. Okay, 121 August 30th, traded down to 94 on September 10th. So that's what, 10 days. So it went from 94 to 127 in a very short period of time. What I say, September 10th to September 19th. So that's why I say, the undercut, you got to watch them as they rally back through. You got to buy them back. And so that's textbook stuff and just a lesson to learn. If you bought it here, you were just early, right? And then it sold off, you sold it. You did what you were supposed to do. You're protecting your assets. And then it rallies back through, you can buy it back again. So, that's just trading in the market. Okay, KGS, I've got to go to some oil stocks, give oil stocks some love. I do like this KGS. Kodiak Gas Services, and you can see the length of the consolidation here. IPO base ran up nicely. Now it's consolidated since March of 2024, so it's been 6 months of just going sideways, and now it looks like it wants to break out. It's up 10% this week, so that's a hell of a week. Straight up from the bottom, like everything else that we've shown you pretty much. So let it, come back, trade sideways, let the moving averages catch up. But that thing looks pretty darn good. CNX is another one. Oil and gas, US exploration. This one pulled back, slightly to the 21 and now ripping to new highs. So that's a much easier hold than something like this. That's August 5th where it undercuts the 50. That's a tough hold. This is much easier, because it just pulls back to the 21. All right, so enough of that. I guess I got to show you ExxonMobil. When the XLE is up, ExxonMobil, what is this doing? Oh, it's undercutting its 200. Now rallied back through the 200, rallied back through the 50. So Exxon looks pretty darn good. Anyway, I'm just going to go through some random names, stocks that I like, stocks that are making highs, stocks showing strength. This is Carpenter. Man, I have this on our leading stock, but I don't think I put this on our ready list. You know, this is the problem. I do, every weekend I have about 40 or 50 or some, depending on the week, sometimes a lot more, sometimes less, but I want to narrow it down to like a manageable number of names. So I cut some out. And I cut this one out, just like I cut INTA out, some other names, and they're doing better than some of the ones that I left on. But that's just the way it goes in the stock market. This one just pulled back to its 50. That's why I like it. Pulled back to its 50 and then rallied back to its moving averages. And now still has that buy point of 148, getting extended here, but it's definitely a leading stock in the steel specialty alloys. You can see that's a number 2 group, so powerful group. EME, this is another one in the building maintenance group, breaking out above that 400 level. I missed that one too, so that's the way it goes. IESC, this one's in the same group, building maintenance and showing strength, same profile, undercut the 50, then rally back through. Pretty common. Let me see, what else do we have? Oh, the Woodstock LPX, Louisiana Pacific. I didn't have this one on my ready list either, but that 101 there is definitely an area of interest there. Today popped above it. I think this one's still actionable. Yeah, just breaking out of this little box here. So those Darvish traders, yeah, that will attract people, when they break out like that. That'll attract the momentum crowd. TLN is the last one I'm going to show you. And that one's just, on steroids. Way extended to buy, but just showing strength, making new highs. Anyway, there's a lot more stocks I can show you, but I'm going to stop there. And except for I lied, in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing, and that is some earnings tonight. This is FedEx. They missed on the top and the bottom lines, and this is kind of why Powell went 50 basis points, is because the economy's slowing a little bit. This is a big carrier. You guys get packages at your doorstep from FedEx every day. At least I do, because well, I'm not gonna talk about my wife, but she likes to shop and get packages on the porch. So yeah, you can see the undercut and the rally, but it's weak after hours, so it's gonna get a little bit of a haircut. What is that, 271? So somewhere back in this area tomorrow, at the bottom of the range. So it's still, it's probably still going to trade in a trading range. We'll have to wait and see. And then Lennar reported tonight. I did not hear the Lennar report at all. I know that, with interest rates, it's down 3%, $6. So I'll have more information on these 2 reports in the morning. Same profile here for Lennar though, with the, the pullback below the 50, then rally above. Looks like it's tomorrow, 185. We'll see what happens with it. I've got to look at the report, but that's definitely going to have an impact on some of these other homes builder stocks, I believe. Yeah, Pulte down a little after hours. DR Horton's a big one, a little bit after hours. So yeah, like I said, I've got to read through the report. But these stocks will be okay. This one's up after hours, and this one looks like it's ready to buy here at $88. So looks pretty good there. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching at MC Stock Charts. We never give up. And remember, do not fight the power, do not fight the Fed, do not fight the tape, and the trend is your friend. And I just love this chart right here, Quanta Services. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Never give up.